Okay, and so we're going to get started. We got to plot these points: -2, -1, 1, 2, 4, -1, 1, -4. It looks like this is going to be a square, but I am not sure. We need to remember that the slopes are the test for telling whether it is perpendicular or parallel. And so the slope of AB is up 3 to the right 3, so 3 over 3, or 1 over 1, if we simplify that. BC, -3 over 3, or -1 over 1. We should notice at this point that these two are perpendicular. CD is also going to be 3 over 3, or 1 over 1. And DA is -3 over 3, or -1 over 1. So, is AB perpendicular to BC? We need to look at that and see if they are opposite reciprocals. This and this are opposite reciprocals, so actually if I simplify them, this and this are opposite reciprocals, so yes, they are perpendicular. BC and CD. This and this are opposite reciprocals, so yes. Same for CD and DA, and same for DA and AB. So we can go ahead and put our perpendicular marks on this thing. It looks like it's going to be a square. We have to see if opposite sides are parallel. So is AB parallel to CD? If these slopes are the same, then yes, those two are parallel. Then we do the same for the other two. These two slopes are the same, so yes, they are parallel. Then we can come up here and do our little magic trick with the squares, or the triangles. This triangle is 3 by 3. This triangle is 3 by 3. 3 by 3. And 3 by 3. So, each triangle is 3 by 3. That means that the hypotenuse of each of those triangles would be the same. That means all those side lengths are the same. So we need to mark that these are parallel from what we saw in the slopes earlier. And we need to mark that all four sides are congruent because the triangles on the outside of them are all congruent, which means that those hypotenuses would be congruent. That means that this is a square. Okay, moving on. We have 0, 6, 3, 4. -1, -2, -4, 0. Slope of AB, -2 over 3. Slope of BC, 6 over 3. And if we simplify that, no, 6 over 4. And if we simplify that, that would be 3 over 2. CD, -2 over 3. DA, 6 over 4. Or 3 over 2. Remember that this is a test for perpendicular or parallel. So, are AB and BC opposite reciprocals? This is why it's important to simplify them, because that -2/3 and that 3 over 2, we can tell that they are opposite reciprocals. If we had not simplified it, 6 over 4 does not look like an opposite reciprocal for negative 2 over 3. So yes, we do have perpendicular lines there, and that's going to be true for all of these. Because if you look through the slopes, you will see that the first one and the second one are opposite reciprocals. The second and third are opposite reciprocals, and the third and fourth are opposite reciprocals. And the first and fourth are opposite reciprocals. Parallel sides, we're looking to, so we need to mark that those are perpendicular, by the way. For parallel sides, we're looking to see if the opposite sides have the same slope. And so here are my opposite sides. Those have the same slope. And these have the same slope. So, yes, we see that they are parallel. We can come up here and mark that they are parallel. And then we need to do our triangle trick to see if certain side lengths are the same. This triangle is going to be 4 by 6. So is this triangle. So AD and CB are 4 by 6. That means that those two side lengths are congruent. And then we look at the other triangles. This is 2 by 3. And this is 2 by 3. So those opposite sides are going to be congruent because they're triangles that touch them are congruent. So opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are the same length. This is a rectangle. Negative 4, 0. Negative 3, 4. 5, 2. 0, negative 1. This is a funky looking shape. I think it's going to be a trapezoid. We need to remember that a trapezoid is one pair of opposite sides are parallel, and that's all that has to be true for it to be a trapezoid. So we're going to check this out. Remember that slopes are a test for perpendicular or parallel. I forgot to label these. So negative 4, 0 is A, negative 3, 4 is B, C, D. So AB we have a slope of 4 over 1. BC we have a slope of negative 2, 7, negative 2, 8, or negative 1 over 4. CD, we have a slope of 1, 2, 3 over 5. And then AD, we have a slope of negative 1 over 4. So the only thing that I see going on in these slopes is that these two are the same. I do not see any opposite reciprocals. So that means that BC and DA are parallel. So these are parallel, the other two are not. And I do not have any opposite reciprocals. I do have opposite reciprocals actually. Right here, here, here. So we need to be careful with the opposite reciprocal piece here. Do we have AB perpendicular to BC? No. Oh wait, yes. BC to CD? No. CD to DA? No. And DA to AB? Yes. So BC and AB, that is perpendicular, and that is perpendicular. And then we have the two parallel lines BC and AD. If we look at the triangles for this, AB is 1 by 4. BC is 8 by 2. CD is 3 by 5. And AD is 1 by 4. So the first and the last triangle are congruent, which means that those side lengths are the same. So AB is the same length as DA. That's kind of weird. So there's nothing fancy going on in this figure. It is just a trapezoid. There's only one pair of parallel lines. The two right angles don't mean anything. And those two sides that are congruent, being congruent, also don't mean anything. Negative 5, 3, 0, 6, 5, 3, 0, 0. I bet that this is going to be a rhombus, but I need to prove that. So, first step are slopes. Over that this is a test for perpendicular or parallel. So AB is going to be 3 over 5. BC is going to be negative 3 over 5. CD is 3 over 5. AD is negative 3 over 5. I do not have any opposite reciprocals, so none of these are going to be perpendicular. But in terms of parallel, I do see that this one and this one are parallel, and this one and this one are parallel because their slopes are the same. So we do have two pairs of parallel sides. Let's go to mark that. So opposite sides are parallel. Last is to test the side lengths, and if they all match, then this is a rhombus. 5 by 3 triangle, 3 by 5, 5 by 3, 3 by 5. So all these triangles are 3 by 5. That means that all these side lengths are congruent. That makes this shape a rhombus. Two more shapes to go. We've got negative 3, 3, negative 1, 5, 6, negative 2, 4, negative 4. This looks like it's going to be a rectangle to me. We will see if that's the case. Alright. A, B, C, D. Alright, remembering again that this is the test for perpendicular or parallel. AB is 2 over 2, or 1 over 1. BC is going to be negative 7 over 7, or negative 1 over 1. CD is 2 over 2, or 1 over 1. And DA, negative 7 over 7. So, it looks like we do have opposite reciprocals pretty much all throughout this thing. So, all of these adjacent sides are going to be perpendicular. Let's go ahead and mark that. And we look for parallel. Are opposite sides having the same slope? Yes. Let's mark that. And then finally the side lengths. So we'll throw our triangles on here. This triangle is 2 by 2, so is this one. So AB and DC will have the same side lengths because these triangles are congruent. And the other ones. We'll use that 7 by 7 and 7 by 7. So yes, opposite sides are congruent. So this one is congruent to this one. This one is congruent to this one. That makes this shape a rectangle. And lastly, we have one more. Negative 6, way down here. Negative 5, 0 over here. 6, negative 2. 5, negative 4. Alright. So, let's make sure I do that correctly. Alright. So, this one looks like it's going to be nothing special because I don't see anything that looks like it's even got parallel sides or right angles. So let's take a look. We'll see if this is just a quadrilateral. So the slope, again, is a test for perpendicular or parallel. So AB is going to be 6 over 1. BC is going to be negative 2 over 11. CD is going to be 2 over 1. And DA is going to be 2 over 11. Okay. We do not have anything that is an opposite reciprocal, so none of these are parallel, or sorry, none of these are perpendicular. And we do not have any parallel sides because none of these slopes are the same. Side lengths, let's take a look at that. AB, that triangle is 1 over 6, or 1 by 6. BC is going to be 11 by 2. CD. It's going to be 1 by 2. And DA or AD, however you want to view that, is going to be 2 by 11. And so we can see that BC and DA are congruent. And that's it. So no parallel lines, no right angles. That means that this is just a quadrilateral.